Hey everybody, so what does the future hold as far as real estate goes here in America, here in Idaho, maybe where you are in California? Let's talk about it next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know, you're a great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley. And if you're going to relocate to the Treasure Valley, that means you're probably coming from someplace else. And so what's going on countrywide, or particularly in your state, it really could make a difference. And I bring that up because I've recently been having a conversation with a guy in California, and he said that he had two different agents come over to his house to give him an idea of, talk about listing his house so he could maybe relocate to some better place. And one agent told him a great number that my guy I was talking with was really excited about, and the other agent gave him a lower number. And that was more based on, what a buyer would spend. So if that's you in a situation like that, which do you go for? Do you go for the higher number and let your house sit there longer? And if you do let it sit longer, what are some of the risks that could come about from doing that? So we're going to be gazing into the future. Crystal ball still in the shop, so take this with a grain of salt. Or do you take that lower price, bust the move, get out of there, and then you don't have to worry about what the future is going to do? So what's some of the things that impact what housing costs, what anything costs? What's going to be inflation? And so what's really good for inflation? War. See, we got Iran, Israel. You've heard it all before, and I'm not going to give you one side or the other, play by play, blow by blow, but I am going to say that war really can cause inflation because it disrupts so many things that are going on. So is that good for you? I don't know. It means that the house you're looking to buy could end up costing more. And another thing about what's going on, because this is in the Middle East, the Strait of Hormuz, that's where oil ships, tankers, they cruise through there. Well, maybe not anymore. So that could really impact fuel expenses here in America. And did you know just about everything that you ever had, whether it's lumber to build your house or food in your grocery store, came on a truck? I used to be a truck driver, so I know these things, right? But guess what else impacts what fuel costs? Disruptions to the supply chain. I just did a Google search here, and artificial intelligence is telling us all these things that can and have and do impact the fuel supply chain. A couple of those are closures of refineries in California. One should be just about any time now, and another one's about 6 months down the road. They're right there, potentially causing price spikes. So California doesn't have the gas. Where are they going to get it? From someplace else. That means someplace else is going to have to start paying more to compete with the prices that they could otherwise send that tanker to California and get more money. Also, just as an added bonus for you people still in California, increased regulation. California is implementing new regulations to address fuel price volatility, which could further impact refinery operations and potentially lead to more additional closures. Oh yeah, just leave it to the government to try to fix something and see what happens. And I just saw this recently, a day ago, a big old explosion at a refinery in Texas. So I'm sure that's going to have an impact as well. So what else could have an impact on, inflation, but on housing costs? I see here where President Trump has ordered ICE to expand illegal immigrant deportation efforts. Well, he said he's going to do it, and he's keeping his word, so there's that. But what does that mean? So according to the National Association of Home Builders, and I would think they would know what they're talking about because that's their gig, right? Geographic concentration of immigrants in construction. More than half, 53% of the 3 million immigrant construction workers reside in the four most populous states: California, Texas, Florida, and New York. Let's look at this graphically because I'm a graphic kind of person, right? Migrant workers in the construction labor force. So California, 41%, Texas, 38%. These are border states. Does that mean that everyone was a migrant that works in construction in a border state is there illegally? Probably not. But do you think there's a certain amount of them? So what if it's 10%? What if it's 20? What is 50%? That means there's not going to be the labor to build those houses anymore. So that means that it's going to take longer. It's going to take more labor. They're going to have to bring people in from maybe other states. Maybe they're going to say, hey, you 9% up in Idaho, we're going to pay you more. You come down here. So then that slows down Idaho or wherever else. Maybe North Dakota, 3%, Montana, 2%. So what I'm saying there is that housing costs are going to go up because there's nobody there to make them. Not to mention what we already talked about, fuel costs going up. So getting your supplies, all the materials to build the house is going to become more and more expensive. And maybe we have a flashback to the 70s and they reinstate the draft. This time they said they're going to take women too. So your sons and daughters could go overseas to, you can fill in the blank there, but certainly they won't be here to be working in the construction industry to build your houses. Just one more little piece of the puzzle that is going to make prices go up. And if you are in California, and I know a lot of you are, something else that I'm sure that's been weighing on your mind is home insurance. Rising premiums, difficulty obtaining or renewing policies, especially in high-risk areas. Why? Increased wildfire risk, the rising cost of labor to rebuild your house if it ever came to that, and materials, and we already talked about, those are all going to get more expensive. More regulatory efforts to make things better, which will make things worse. Limited availability, meaning that insurance companies are moving out of California. So now you have to go to the California government plan. And I understand that that's expensive and they don't pay out on the claims. So what good is that? Oh, and then don't forget climate change. I can't tell if it's global warming or global cooling, but all I know is that the weather is going to make your stuff more expensive as well. So we started out this talking about what does the future hold? If you know what the future is going to hold, you can make a whole lot better decisions, right? So we've got some experts up here, and so they're saying home prices for second half of 2025, the one group of experts say it's going to go up 4.3%. Somebody else, NAR, says it's going to go up 3%. Redfin says minus 1%. Zillow says minus 1.4%. So you got all these experts in the business. They have no idea what's going on. I can't tell you that I have any idea what's going on, except it's going to get worse. I can guarantee you that because we have war, refinery, fuel prices are going up, and also labor to make the houses in the construction industry. So I think my prediction is probably better than those. Certainly on par with them, right? And mortgage rates, they're supposed to come down. It looks like right now, Jerome Powell is maybe more playing politics than anything else because he did say he wanted to see inflation at the 2%. Well, now we're there. And what are interest rates doing? Not a heck of a lot. So I think that's probably more political, and there's nothing you're going to do about that. He's with us till, 2027? But we will defer to NAR, National Association of Realtors. I mean, all my dues go to these guys to crunch numbers, so hopefully some of their stuff's right. They do say in this chart, 2% is median home price for increase in 2025 and again in 2026. So maybe they're right. Maybe they're off because they're not, anticipating all this inflation. NAR anticipates 2% increase in median home prices for both 2025, 2026, blah, blah, blah. Stabilizing mortgage rates. Well, are they? Are they going to go up? They're going to go down? We have no idea. It's up to one man. And although I did see something today that Trump is working with Korea to maybe do something that will get our interest rates down. He's always making a deal of some sort, right? Increased sales. Well, yep, there may well be some increased sales, except if you're in California or maybe some other state where you can't sell your house. Why? Because nobody's buying it. Why? Because they can't get insurance. It's some double-digit number right now as it stands that home deals fall out because they can't get insurance on the house in California. Expect that to continue to go up. So NAR is also anticipating improved inventory. Well, in California, inventory is up, That's great, right? But it's not from new home sales, new home construction. You know what it's from? People putting their house on the market and no one's buying it. So inventory is going up. Inventory goes up. What does that mean? The law of supply and demand means prices are going to come down. But prices aren't coming down because I guess people are, maybe they bought it at the height and they just can't afford to lower their price. So essentially they're locked into their house. What a terrible thing. Housing starts. Are we going to have more housing starts? Well, not if millions and millions of your construction people that are building your houses in California, or maybe the couple thousand that we have in Idaho, if they're not here to do it, who's going to do it? And if they can't do it, there's not going to be any housing starts. And then affordability, we come back to this. They say that, they anticipate affordability is going to become slightly easier going forward. And maybe it is. So I bring all this together to say this. We don't know what the future holds, but I can say that it's going to be a rough and rocky road for a lot of people. If you have a reason to move, to sell, to do whatever it is, you might want to do it now. And you might want to be really realistic about it. Nationwide, and even to a small degree here in the Treasure Valley, we are seeing our market shift from a total seller's market to closer to the buyer side, not totally in the buyer side yet, but that we're seeing more concessions from sellers, and we're seeing days on the market kind of higher than what we'd like. But I can tell you need to figure out what it is that you need to do. If you're just thinking, oh yeah, it'd be nice to move, but I'm happy where I'm at right here in, Bakersfield, then bless your heart. I hope everything works out for you, and we're pulling for you because we're all in this together. But if you're thinking that maybe getting out of California because you don't see it getting any better, especially under Governor Kamala Harris, well, maybe right now is the time. And be realistic about it and get some great help. We can help you at this end. We can give you all the information. We can go to video home tours for you, whatever it takes to make sure that you have all the information that you need to make the best possible decision. And to do that, all you have to do is give me and Maureen a call, text, email, go to our valleydave.com, www.treasurevalley.dave.com, and hit that contact us button, and we'd be glad to answer your questions. It doesn't mean that you're going to be moving here or that we're going to be going steady for the next year and a half. It just means that you want some information, and we're here to help you out with that. So thanks for coming by, and we will see you on the next video.